Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here. So it's nearly been half a year since the launch of Forza Horizon 5, and although the game released with many issues, the team over at Playground Games have been working hard to improve all the problems so that we can enjoy the game as intended. Now with that said though, many problems and bugs were present at launch, and it's hard not to ask questions as to what happened, why did this occur, and not only that, why certain decisions were made to steer Horizon 5 into this particular direction. I think this is an important part of the overall development process for the people working behind the game itself too. However, in today's video, I have 5 huge questions that I would like the answers to for Forza Horizon 5, as these areas seem to have a huge void that needs to be filled with answers. Now, just before I begin, if you do enjoy this video in the end, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button as it really does help me out, and also consider subscribing too. So without further ado, beginning with number 1, where are these car manufacturers? So before the launch of Forza Horizon 5, Playground Games would slowly release the car list that will be available at launch. Now at first they would reveal, I believe, around 80% of the car list, and then every couple of weeks or so, they would then include new cars and manufacturers onto that list. Now when we initially saw the car list reveal, many within the community were quite worried, as some huge manufacturers that have been part of the Horizon franchise from the very beginning were omitted, such as BMW, Mazda, Mini, and so on. But as more reveals went on, manufacturers like BMW, Mazda, and Mini all eventually were a part of the launch car list of Horizon 5. However, with that said though, there are still quite a few renowned car brands that are still missing in Horizon 5, and even now, nearly half a year since launch, none of them have been seen or even mentioned. Manufacturers like Abarth, Alfa Romeo, Fiat, and Lancia, just to name a few, have all been staples of the Horizon series, and not only that, in certain preview Horizon 5 gameplay released by the developers, we even saw some of them in the game. Now, not to get too overly complicated with everything, but the 4 manufacturers I just previously mentioned are a part of the umbrella of major automaker Stellantis, so it is possible that Playground Games could not acquire or renew a license with them, hence why they aren't featured in the game. Maybe Polyphony Digital bought exclusive rights to them, hence why these brands are featured in Gran Turismo 7. I don't exactly know what the reasoning is, because Stellantis also owns manufacturers like Peugeot, Jeep, Maserati, and many more, and those brands are featured in Horizon 5. So, Playground Games, as a community, we would love to know why some of our beloved Italian cars are not in the Horizon franchise. Number 2, Expansion 1. Perhaps one of the hottest and biggest topics in regards to Horizon 5 right now. I mean, if we were to look back at all the past Horizon games and the release of Expansion 1, we would already have the new expansion downloaded onto our platforms and driving on it right now. But nope. In fact, nothing really even suggests that Expansion 1 is even close to being released. Now, a couple of months back, a tweet that was made by Illumia_Italia said that Microsoft has started testing Horizon 5 Expansion 1 through the Xbox Insider Hub, which often means that it's in its final stage of testing. Now, that was tweeted out about 2 months ago, and only just recently on Playground Games Series 6 livestream did the developers finally give us an update on what is happening with Expansion 1, and all they said was yes, they are working on it, but right now the team is focused on continuing to push out monthly content. So the truth is, we don't really know when or what Expansion 1 will be, but I feel as though Horizon 5 needs it very soon. Now, a few of my previous videos, I did speculate that Playground Games was perhaps waiting for Expansion 1 to be released at E3, as it would be a great time to maximize the amount of eyes onto the DLC and Horizon 5 itself, but since E3 has now been cancelled, I guess that prediction goes out the window. But I'm still banking on Expansion 1 to be released around June. So Playground Games, if there's any time frame for when we can expect the new DLC, that would be great. But what would be far more interesting to know is, why has the team decided to delay the release of the expansion? Number 3, which cars were truly remodeled? Before the launch of Horizon 5, I was fortunate enough to take part in a Q&A session with creative director for Playground Games Mike Brown, and one of the questions that were asked was, have some of the cars been remodeled for Horizon 5? And he answered very briefly by saying, yes, there will be cars that have been remodeled. However, he didn't specifically name which ones. Now, when I first heard this, I was super excited because within the Horizon community, there is a list of cars that are just absolutely dreadful in terms of the way they look. One example is, of course, the Nissan Silvia S15. This specific car model is on the top of the list when it comes to remodeling, as it's been used, I believe, since the very first Forza title on the original Xbox back in 2005. So once I got my hands on the preview, it was the first car I checked out, but sadly, it was still the same. Even in the final version of the game, the S15 was still the same old recycled car model, along with many other cars like the Nissan R32 Skyline GTR, Toyota AE86, Honda Civic Type R EB3, amongst many more JDM cars. The only changes I actually noticed was a couple of clusters and interior from two vehicles, and the first was the Ford Mustang GT500 that was new to Horizon 4, where for some strange reason the dials were digitally incorrect, and also the Corvette C8, where once again the cluster had a weird reflecting bug, but in Horizon 5 those two bugs were fixed. However, other than that, no cars were remodeled. Now, I could be wrong though. If I am, please let me know down in the comment section below, but from what I can see, nothing was ever remodeled. Number 4, private lobbies. Going back to the same Q&A session I just mentioned in my previous point, another question that was also asked was, will private lobbies return? Because in past Horizon games, especially Horizon 3 and Horizon 2, we were able to select private lobbies as an option, and why it was so good was because we were able to connect with all of our friends in one lobby without having to worry about connecting to other players that are free roaming around the map, like how it was in Horizon 4 and how it currently is in Horizon 5. And this has really been the crux of many online problems, because some players' connections may not be good enough to connect with everyone in Horizon Life, so even if you were in a private convoy, you are still forced to share the world with other players that you're not really interacting with, and all it's doing is taking more of your bandwidth, hence resulting in problems reconnecting with your convoy, or worse, being completely disconnected from Horizon Life. Now, Mike Brown did mention that they will look into bringing back private lobbies, but it will be more like how it was in Horizon 4, where it's a private adventure and the host will choose a series of races for everyone in the private lobby to compete in, but there was no mention of a private free roam. What I would like to know is, why is private lobby so hard to implement for Playground Games? Is it the additional servers that Microsoft can no longer afford to purchase? Or does Playground Games really like this idea of everyone sharing this one world? Because if they want us to do that, they better make the experience flawless. And lastly, number 5, Forza Horizon 6. Now, I know it's quite premature to already talk about Horizon 6, as Horizon 5 has only been out for less than half a year, but I don't know, for some reason it's already felt like an eternity with Horizon 5. Is that just me, or do you guys feel it too? But anyways, I think it's quite clear that the current Horizon format, if you will, is becoming quite stale, particularly for those that have played all of the Horizon titles. I find that from Horizon 4 to Horizon 5, nothing has really changed other than the map, with a few extra features here and there that make the game or experience slightly different. A lot of bugs and glitches still remain, and many of them were even seen from Horizon 4 too, which also doesn't help. So I'm wondering, will Horizon 6 get a major overhaul? Rumors suggest that once the new Forza Motorsport game releases, which will be exclusive to the current Xbox Series consoles only, that Horizon 6 will also follow the same protocol. But will the game be more than just a change in location and a few new cars in the title, or will it be completely different, something innovative? Now, if you were to ask me right now, I don't know what that could be, as I am just one brain, but anyone watching, any cool suggestions that we may be able to help Playground Games with for the next Horizon title, Perhaps we could just manifest some excellent ideas for them to consider, who knows? But Playground Games, I would like to know if Forza Horizon 6 would receive a massive overhaul. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button as it really does help me out. And also, if you guys would like to see more Forza Horizon 5 content right here on this channel, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.